I also like to thank and recognize incredible CUPE staff sisters who are so amazing to work with. Sister Maureen, Sister Darcy, Margot and Danielle in the Equality Branch, and also to some very special sisters, Sisters Morna and Jane, who's retired, and Morna, who's gone, luckily, for the PSAC, and to Cheryl Stadnichuk, who was our coordinator for the task force. From these sisters, I have learned so much. I also wouldn't be here today if I wasn't supported by my incredible family back home. They are absolutely outstanding. My children, I have 5 of them. I think I have the same number as Sandy Harding, so I'm proud of that. Lorian, Jessie, Kate, Jack, and Morag. I could go on for hours, but I just want to tell you that I'm enormously proud of each and every one of them. And I'm thrilled that Morag is here today with me. My partner, John, is a steelworker, and he is busy today. That's the normal status in our household. He's organizing strike support for the Sudbury Steelworkers on strike at Dale Inco. And he's also organizing, followed up by a demonstration between Spartans support of an NDP anti-scab bill. Such is life in our very own public-private partnership. It's the only one that really works.
Right on. Right on, sister.
And I have to say that I must thank Grace Hartman herself. I never actually met Grace, and it's one of my life's big regrets. But I feel that she's been an intimate friend throughout my years as a CUPE activist. Grace was special to me because we came from the same local, the Inside Workers in North York. Grace was a leader and eventually president of Local 373, which merged with the Outside Workers to form Local 94. Grace was also a district council president who knew the value of collective work that they do in the community and in the union. When I was first elected to the executive of Local 94, I was the only woman on the executive. I knew about Grace from the very beginning because her portrait hung in our hallway in the union office. My work on the executive was difficult. And actually to say it was difficult is an understatement. However, I had a principle that I used when I was on the executive, and it would never let them see me cry. So when it was tough slogging, I would get up and walk down the hallway to Grace and have a conversation. Grace and I had many conversations in my work, and I have to say that she always gave amazing advice. I knew that Grace had struggles to face and barriers to meet, to overcome, and I know that if she could do it, then I could do it too, because she paved the way. One of the other things I learned from Grace was the need to continue the fight for peace. Grace was a very active member of the Voice of Women for Peace throughout her whole life. She believed very strongly that in addition to fighting for labor rights and women's rights, we needed to oppose war in all its manifestations. We need, as a labor movement, to recommit to our struggles for peace, both as a labor movement and as individual activists. And I urge us all, when we go back home, to take up the cause to fight against war. And lastly, I want to thank CUPE equity fighters throughout the whole union. I have to say in particular, I have to thank particular sisters and a brother, Sister Yolanda McLean, our Diversity Vice President, Sister Cheryl Burns from the National Women's Committee, the National Women's Task Force, Joanne Webb, who's the Aboriginal DVP in Ontario,